Hey everyone, welcome to the RotoGrinders Morning Grind Podcast. I'm your host, Stevietpfl. It's Monday, it's May 15th, it's 2023. We have 10 baseball games to talk about here on today's podcast. Joined by my good buddy, Will Priester, the Chief, the Justice, and he is 06. Chief, what's happening, my friend?
Nothing much, man. Coming in, it's ready for another slate. And I know we're pretty much morning grind time, but happy Mother's Day to everyone in the past. And we appreciate all the mothers, my mom and my fiance, and just all the mothers. Just thank you guys for your great contributions to our lives and society.
Heck yeah, man. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. A great Mother's Day on Sunday. I had a good day. It wasn't a good fantasy day. It was the worst NASCAR day that I've ever had, ever. It was very weird. I was up a lot of money, with 10 laps to go, and that's how NASCAR shakes up. So I'm over it. I'm in a great mood. It was hard to tilt, Will. I was live on XM hosting today while all these wrecks were happening. So it's very hard to tilt and focus on doing my job. So maybe the reason that I got over it so fast because I got off XM, I went out and spent time with the kids and the wife, and I mean, it helped. It moved it along. So that slate's past me. I'm excited for this baseball slate to get back in the baseball swing of things. Really good Friday for me. I had a really good Friday baseball wise. You and I were talking about like the Giants, and dude, I got the Giants right on Friday. Listen, after a week that I had with baseball last week, it felt really good to end the week on a really good, like, positive note. So hopefully we can keep that Friday love rolling into some Monday love here and have us another good baseball slate. So
yes, sneakily, I've been kind of dialed in on these sneaky stacks. I was on the previous show for Crunch Time. And I was like, man, the upside stack to me felt like Minnesota against Stroman. Like, it's like the slate isn't the best. It's like they got a lot of power. Stroman's a ground ball pitcher against some of these guys. And sure enough, man, I looked up and Minnesota just started scoring runs early. Now, I think they finished with 16 runs today, Stevie. If they followed my lead with the Twins, man, they rode it to the money. So hopefully that translates into some success for today's pod for the other people that weren't on the crunch time, and we can help them make some money for the Monday slate.
I'm just gonna say right off the bat, this is a very interesting slate. So I'm really interested to get through it and break it down. What's up, YouTube? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday night. Thanks for hanging out with us live. Richie, Dave, everyone hanging out in the YouTube chat. And let's jump in, get started. We got Yankees and Blue Jays. No total in this game. It's going to be Brito, assuming that he is going to be the guy that starts here, going up against Alek Manoah. The line, I think, is more determined on if Brito actually pitches in this game or not. So we'll have to kind of see. But let's start here with the visiting team. Any interest in Brito going up against Toronto?
No.
Yeah, really quick no. And I don't think I disagree with you by any means. So this team's really good. The top half of this lineup is very good. This guy he's struggled to get outs, and a 15% K rate with a 400 WOBA and a 340 ISO against right-handed hitters facing Toronto. Good luck with that. So very interested in the Toronto Bats. We'll talk about them in just a minute. Alek Manoah on the other side of this game. Alek Manoah last season looked like he showed brilliance at times. But this year, man, he comes into this game 6.3 xFIP, 17% Ks, 13% walks, 8% swinging strikes. I think that you have to attack the Yankees with top end strikeout pitchers, and I don't think Alek Manoah is that right now at this type of the year.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Stevie. So Manoah gets maybe less of a hard no, but he's getting close to a hard no in this spot. For all the reasons you mentioned, K rate's low, xFIP is up, walk rate is up. He's not anywhere near the type of caliber pitcher he's going to need to be to pitch around this team on this slate. So I'm not playing Alek Manoah.
All right, let's talk some bats in this game. I think the total is going to come in at 9.5 on the low end.
I agree. I like that call.
All right, bats here for the Yankees side of things. There was a report that said like Stanton getting healthier, so that's going to be good for this team. Over the weekend, we saw the Yankees kind of switch this lineup up a little bit, and I'm really interested if this happens again because Jake Bauers hit leadoff. He's minimum salary. So I think this is really interesting. If Bauers hits leadoff again, I don't like Willie Calhoun hitting up towards the top of the order. Just go with the power, man. Play Bauers. I like Bauers, Judge, Rizzo, Bader keeps hitting. LeMahieu's starting to warm up. I like the Yankees in this spot.
Yeah, I do as well, Stevie. And once again, Bauers makes the lineup cheap. Willie Calhoun makes the lineup cheap. They don't really have any catcher that's expensive. So, Anthony Rizzo is $4,700. Gleyber Torres has pretty much been my favorite Yankee all season, Stevie. To be quite honest with you. But he's now $4,900, but the price is warranted. LeMahieu, you said he's heating up. He's $3,900. And then you've got, of course, the big gun Judge at the top at $6,200. Stevie, all in all, you can afford to play Aaron Judge with this stack today. No problem. Just with Jake Bauers alone. That doesn't even include the LeMahieu, the Rizzo, the Bader at $4,100, the Calhoun at $2,400. I think there are a lot of outs and a lot of ways to stack this lineup. And I think that's going to make it, I think that's reason enough alone, to get the Yankees included in your pool. This is a great team today. Great team.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a spot that I want to target. I will say, I think the Yankees are a top end stack today. The Toronto side, I'm a little bit more hesitant on the Blue Jays, and here's the reason why. The Yankees bullpen. That is that hashtag stop. That's where I'm just going to stop there. I mean, yeah, get Brito out fourth or fifth inning. You have to face that bullpen for 5 innings. Get Brito out in the second or third and the team smashing. Okay, then it works out, right? Because you're not getting top end bullpen arms if you get him out in the third. If he goes to the sixth, good luck, man. So I think if you're playing Toronto, I'm stacking them. I think that obviously this guy has really struggled with right-handed bats. Springer, Bichette, Vlad instantly pop off the sheet here. What are your thoughts on the Blue Jays here?
Yeah, I think that's what you're doing, because one of the things that I don't like about the Blue Jays, Stevie, is the top half of this order has been fantastic, and the bottom half has just been dreadful at times. Like Brandon Belt's got a 40% K rate. Kevon Biggio is mid to upper 30s, and it may balance out at some point throughout the season. But so what you're hoping is that this team is just on a day at the top of the lineup, and the bottom of the order can piece some things together. Now, because they're getting to see Brito today, I do think that there's a chance that could happen. And I think some of the bats are cheap enough. So while Vlad may be $5,800, Springer at $4,600, I think is good. Varsho $4,600, Whit Merrifield $3,900. Look, if Biggio's in the lineup, he's at the bottom. Look, he strikes out a lot. He is $2,200. That allows you to get some of these guys in. I don't think I'm going to play Brandon Belt at all, because we have to play him at first on DraftKings. And so, look, man, if I got to choose between Brandon Belt and Vlad, gun to my head or no gun to my head, I'm just taking Vlad right now. Belt's just out of the question. And then, at catcher, Jansen played on Sunday, so I'm assuming Kirk's going to be back in the lineup on Monday, and I'll have some interest in him as well.
Seattle at Boston, 9.5 total in this game. Pretty much a pick'em game everywhere. Houck against Kirby. Any interest here in George Kirby going up against the Red Sox?
I don't know if he has no upside. 9,400. I mean, look, this slate does not scream elite pitching all the way through in the sense of the word. That's not the type of slate we have. So perhaps he's still in play, but I don't really want to take that chance against Boston at 9,400. Look, he had a monster of a game here recently. He's been steady, But I don't want to take that chance against Boston at 9,400 on this slate.
I don't think he's the craziest play for people that are like chasing big tournaments. He is capable of 7 really strong innings. He has a lot of upside. This team doesn't strike out a lot. I mean, we talk about it all the time with Boston. We look at them against right-handed pitching. They're third in WRC plus. They have the lowest strikeout rate in baseball. They have one of the highest ISOs. Like, they're a really tough team to face for right-handed pitching. So, one, I want to see what the ownership is at, because if it's a 9.5 total and people are afraid to play him against Boston, I could definitely see taking some shots on him in large field tournaments. But overall, his advanced stats definitely suggest that he's getting a little lucky. And I mean, at 9,400, you don't want to be lucky at all. So, I mean, you want to be lucky. Don't get me wrong. Tanner Houck on the other side of this game. We are like capable of taking strikeout pitchers against Seattle. We talk about it all the time. They're a team that if you have high strikeout pitchers, they really could perform well. Guess what, Will? Tanner Houck, not a big strikeout pitcher. Very, very good platoon pitcher. Good against righties, struggles against lefties. Any interest here in Tanner Houck?
Believe it or not, Steve, I've got slight interest. So here's the thing. I've seen bad and good pitchers just really take advantage of Seattle. Like, I watched Faedo from Detroit mow this team down in the sense of what he's capable of. Like 5 innings, 5 Ks, in and out. I think Tanner Houck is in play. Here's why. I think he gets some strikeouts today. I also don't think he gets through this game without giving up runs. Now, he's not my favorite guy in the 8K range, obviously. Like, we'll talk about some guys in the 8K range. But I don't want to exclude him because of Seattle's strikeout ability to right-handed pitching, man. They've been dreadful. I think he's deep tournament. Like, not cash, not 3-entry max or single entry, but I think I'm building 150. I think I get some exposure.
So the thing that I'll say about him, right, is like I mentioned when I was talking about platoons, he's very good against righties, generates a ton of ground balls, has a .015 ISO against right-handed pitching or hitters this year. So if Seattle does roll out that like very right-handed heavy lineup, that's where you have interest in Houck. I do think that like with Riley sitting on Sunday, he'll be back in the lineup. That's one lefty. Riley strikes out a bunch. Kelenic, he's been hitting the ball really well this year. He strikes out at a 32% clip. So an interesting spot for Tanner Houck. Seattle bats, I don't mind the lefties. I'm definitely concerned about the righties. This guy just doesn't get hit very hard by right-handed hitters.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I don't think I'm going to end up on Seattle. But I do like your call when you're saying the lefties. They're probably one-offs, but overall, I'm not stacking Seattle today.
Yeah, I mean, one-offs I think are fine. Like I mentioned with Houck, you definitely want to target him with lefties. He is someone that decent strikeout rate against lefties, but he also walks them at a high clip. So Kelenic would probably be my favorite hitter here from Seattle, but I mean, he's up to 4,700 now, and like Riley's 4,500, so like expensive one-offs. Boston bats, Kirby's a good pitcher. Any interest here in the Red Sox?
Yeah, I don't really want to stack the Red Sox either, Stevie. It's kind of just they're kind of canceling each other out. Like, I think Boston should limit Kirby's upside, and Kirby should limit Boston's upside in the end. And so I am out on this offense. But once again, you can always one off Devers if you like. Like, sure, go right ahead.
I don't think anybody's going to tell you not to take shots on Devers on any slate. Verdugo's hitting the ball really well this year. Yoshida's hitting the ball really well. Duran keeps hitting. And, I mean, it's very early, but Emmanuel Valdez keeps hitting. So I think there's options here if you want to do like a 3-man stack. It's not my favorite team. Valdez, I think, is a really interesting one-off. He's been hitting in that like 6 or 7 hole for the Red Sox. It's 3,100, and like I said, he's been hitting pretty much, I mean, all year is hitting over 300. So, all right, we're heading to St. Louis where the Brewers are in town. 8 total pick'em game. Flaherty, Peralta. DraftKings has some weather potential here. Everything I'm looking at is like 20 to 25% chance of rain. So we'll definitely have to pay attention to what Kevin Roth has to say. We'll start here with Freddie Peralta. Any interest here in Peralta?
Yeah, I mean, Freddie's 9K. One of the things I do like about Freddie this season is we've kind of seen him be steady. He's already faced this team once, and that was earlier in the year when, in my opinion, they weren't hitting the ball as well. I am willing to roll him out in tournaments at 9K. Like, you end up with kind of where he's been in the 22 fantasy point range. I think I'll take that at 9K today. But he's not my favorite play, but he's got some upside. I think he's worth it for 9K.
27% K rate on the season. I mean, St. Louis, they're a pretty low strikeout team in general.
They are.
I mean, it's a tough team, but again, we don't have any, like, in my opinion, we don't have any like perfect matchups today. Where like we have an elite pitcher against a bad offense. So I think taking shots on Peralta today isn't crazy. Jack Flaherty on the other side of this game, this dude is like the definition of hit or miss.
Oh God!
So
don't even.
No, I'm just saying, like, Milwaukee is a lot better against right-handed pitching than they are against left-handed pitching. This is a team that I'm very I pick on them all the time with lefties. Flaherty's biggest issue this year is command. He really just cannot find the strike zone. I think is the best way.
All over the place.
Yeah,
it's bad.
15% walks to lefties and righties, like just absolutely struggling to throw strikes. Saw him walk 5 against the Cubs last time out. The Brewers are a team that they're patient, man. They will walk. They have no issues walking. They have over 100 walks already this season against right-handed pitching. Any interest here in Flaherty at 7,600?
Oh, of course not. I'm not playing Jack Flaherty. Like, I don't care about this 24 fantasy point game. And look, man, I mean, just look at it, Stevie. I mean, the hits just pile up every game. Most games, he's at least 2 to 3 walks. And then so what happens is when they hit and the BABIP is in the offense's favor, you end up with the 4 fantasy point game, the 15 fantasy point game, the negative 15 fantasy point game, the 9 fantasy point game. Stevie, there's barely any games where he didn't give up at least 2 runs this season. Most are 3 or more. I can't play Jack Flaherty today.
I don't think I can either. I mean, I think he gets ownership today for what it's worth.
Oh, no. No way.
All right, well, think about it just for a second, right? Well, we have an 8 total pick'em game, one of the lower totals that we have on the entire slate. He's 7,600 on a 2-pitcher site like DraftKings. We have options. Hunter Green, who we love to play because of his strikeout ability. Well, he's in course, so that makes him a lot, like, that's going to knock his ownership way down. So in this range, I mean, I think he gets ownership today. I really do. So
great.
I agree. I'm saying, I'm in my head, I'm saying, like, I kind of hope he gets ownership.
Yeah.
So
please. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is a really tough spot for Flaherty. I mean, yeah, this is a guy that, like, if he is going to continue to walk people at this type of rate, it's really tough to play him. He's allowed at least 1 home run in 6 straight games, and he's allowed 3 or more earned runs in 6 straight games. He is struggling. Yeah, he's struggling. Bats, Milwaukee Bats. I think they're really interesting here. Flaherty gives up a ton of hard contact, and he walks a lot of people. All it takes is a couple timely hits, and you're getting Flaherty out in the 3rd inning of this game. So the St. Louis Cardinals had to use a lot of bullpen in the Red Sox series. What are your thoughts here on the Brewers Bats?
Hey, we're stacking Milwaukee today. And look, it's not just because it's more to do with Flaherty than Milwaukee. Like, Flaherty at this point, Stevie, and I just want to put this out there. Like, this is somebody, even if he's facing Pittsburgh, the Reds, Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're going to stack against Flaherty probably most times right now until he figures something out. And I don't know if him figuring it out is coming. So the Milwaukee Brewers are getting stacked today, up and down. Yelich. I'm not.
They're cheap. They're cheap.
On Milwaukee.
Adames is 4,200. Like, the stack is. You could play any bat from this stack that you want, and still get pretty much any pitching combination you want.
I wonder if Terrain gets in the lineup again today. He's been in the lineup now for pretty consecutively, Stevie. Like, he's 2,500, probably batting the 7. Like, there's a lot of options here. Milwaukee's one of my favorite stacks of the day.
Just something to note here. Tyler Nyquin's been hitting in AAA. I would not be shocked. Buddy. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets a call up very soon. He's not like a 2K call up, but he is very interesting. Especially like Winker's hitting 200 with 0 home runs. So,
yeah.
I mean, they could use another lefty in this lineup. Just pay attention if you see him in the lineup. He'll be fantastic play today.
Winker be hitting 300 by the end of the night. He's going to get a hit every at bat.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding, but he should get some hits today for what it's worth.
You never know. All right, Cardinals. I respect Peralta, man. I think he's really talented. I think the Cardinals are a talented offense. If I'm playing St. Louis, it's a stack because I mean this team. They just put up 9 runs on Sunday Night Baseball against the Red Sox. So, I mean, they're capable of big games. I think they're a stacker fade for me.
Absolutely. I don't think I want to stack St. Louis today, so I'm probably taking the fade. But it's once again, similar situation to Kirby versus Boston, where Kirby's good, Boston's good. They should cancel each other out. I'm hoping the same thing materializes with Peralta and St. Louis. However, Stevie, I will say this. On FanDuel, where the win and the quality start are probably a little bit more valuable, if Peralta just doesn't give up runs, I am essentially expecting him to get the win today. Based on the matchup, he could be slightly more valuable on FanDuel than DK Ford's.
I don't have FanDuel up in front of me. I'm just curious what his price is. I'm pulling it up really quick. Let's see. He is the highest priced pitcher at 10.9. So I don't even know if that argument works over there with him. I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's like a home run pitcher today. So, all right, we got Atlanta heading to Texas. No total in this game. Morton and Dunning facing off against each other. Charlie Morton, 8,500 on DraftKings. Any interest here in Morton?
I've got slight interest, Stevie. Like, I don't want to play Morton. I just feel like the slate may shift in our favor by playing him on DK. Like, he's 8,500. He's not crazy expensive. I think he can get through 6. I think his leash is long enough. I think he gives up 1 or 2 runs, but I also think he gets the strikeouts. I don't want to play him, Stevie, but I think he's playable, and I think at that price, with what he should see today, I think he'll be fine. Like, I think he could get 20 fantasy points here.
Yeah, I mean, Morton is someone that's been doing it for years, kind of just limiting right-handed bats, where he struggles as lefties. Yeah, I think it really depends on the lineup here. I will say, like, Corey Seager has started like 3 or 4 straight games in AA, and they said they were going to evaluate him after the weekend. We could see Corey Seager active and in this lineup today. That obviously helps a lineup that's already, one of the best in baseball against right-handed pitching. So just kind of want to see what we're looking at lineup-wise here for Texas today. But, I mean, he's neutralizing like Simeon and Garcia and Young, Duran. So I think there's still enough lefties where I'm kind of iffy on Morton. But, again, I'm kind of iffy on everybody today. I have a couple guys that I like that we haven't got to yet, but again, like, there's nobody I'd be like, all right, I'm locking this guy into my lineups today. So, the other side of this game, Dane Dunning, 6,300, started the season kind of working out of the bullpen. He's thrown 70 pitches in back-to-back starts. He's looked okay. don't think I want to play Dane Dunning against the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, I just and here's the thing, man. I actually hope Dane Dunning works out in the league. Like I hope he can kind of stick around. I like him. If he can develop and get better, I'm not playing him against the Braves today. Like, forget it. No way.
And it's not even like he pitched against bad teams. I mean, he did well against Seattle. He did well against the Angels. The Atlanta Braves are just on a different level. They're a really good team. They can hit anybody. So, Braves bats. Any interest here in Atlanta?
Yeah, I don't think I went off Atlanta. If I'm going to take Atlanta today, I think I'm going for the full stack, Stevie.
Yep.
Because it's an upside team. So, Acuna 6,300. Rosario, for whatever reason, Rosario's going to be this year's Michael Brantley. Stevie, he's still under 3K. He's going to be a favorite bat of mine, I think, today on the cheap end. And, Albies is under 5K, 4,800. Riley's back up to 5,100. It's just a quality team. I think they got enough cheap bats to make it work if you want to piece together two of the big boys.
Are we playing Ozuna yet?
I mean, he started hitting.
He is hitting.
He's 26. That's what I'm saying. It's like
he's cheap. That's why I was asking. I mean, he's hitting.
Like
I don't feel great about it, but he's hitting. So
he is.
Yeah, really, really. I mean, I feel like he had to hit or he was gonna get. But I think Atlanta is a stacker fade team because of the pricing and making it work. Like if you're playing Acuna, Olsen, and Riley, then you're going down to these like really cheap bats and just trying to make a stack work. Obviously, I think Rosario would be the chalkiest option. On the Texas side, I mean, I don't mind attacking Morton with lefties. I don't know if I go out of my way to stack Texas today, but if I'm like in a little 3-man and I, want to go like Grossman low, and if Heim is in there, I always like playing Heim. He's one of my favorite catcher plays, just in general. I caught Will mid. I caught you mid yawn.
Sorry, brother. Long day with the family.
Ooh, buddy, I feel you.
I think I'm going to fade Texas today. Like, if this was a 7-game slate, I think I'd went off a couple of Texas bats. Because it's 10 games, I think we got enough here to make it work without me having to flex Texas. So I think they're going to get the X button overall as an offense, even though I am expecting, Morton to give up 1 or 2. Like, he's not getting out of this game clean, I don't think. But I'm not expecting him to get just absolutely rocked. So I'm going to fade Texas today.
All right, we're moving on. We got the Cubs at the Astros. Tyon and Valdez facing off in this one. 7.5 total, lowest total we have on the slate. Astros a 184 favorite. Any interest here in Jamison Tyon?
He's close for me, Stevie. Like, if I want to take a mixed bag, let's take someone that is not all over the place. Now, I do think he'll get to 80 plus pitches this game. That's my assumption. Like, he was at 42 when he came back, 70 the next start. My assumption is we can get him to 80 to 85 pitches. If that's the case, facing Houston, look, Houston has not been great this season, especially at the bottom of this order. There have been strikeouts galore. I like Tyon at 7,500 as long as he keeps the upward swing in his pitch count.
Yeah, I mean, a typical day for Houston has 6 to 7 righties in the lineup, even against right-handed pitching. And Tyon is very good against righties. Big strikeout stuff. The walks are always the concerning thing for Tyon. Didn't take a rehab start, so we're kind of seeing him rehab start as he's going. 27 pitch increase from start 1 to start 2 after missing a few weeks. So I'm with you. I think this is a jump we see from like 69 to 85 to 90-ish range. I think the spot is good, and I think that overall, like we talk about like Houston because for years this team's been really good. Well, right now they're not. They're 24th in WRC plus. They have one of the lowest hard hit rates in baseball. Their ISO is really low. They're striking out 23.5% of the time. So I think Jameson Taillon at this price point is someone that I have interest in today. And I think overall this is going to be a low-scoring game because I think Valdez on the other side of this game, he goes out and he pitches a really strong game here. We talk about the Cubs and how they have some of these righties in this lineup. And, yeah, I mean, Wisdom, 378 ISO, 43% strikeout rate. Swanson's a good hitter. He gets a lot of crap because of the contract he signed, and he's not really like producing at a high clip. But Swanson's a good hitter. He's a good baseball player. Yan Gomes is back. He's a guy that's been hitting left-handed pitching before he got hurt. Overall, though, the lineup's not great against left-handed pitching. I think Valdez goes out and just throws a really good 7-8 inning game. Puts up 25+ fantasy points. Most slates where it's like, yeah, it's 10-game slate. I don't know if that's enough. Today, I'm like, hey, I think that's enough.
Well, the thing is, Stevie, I think he's got a little bit of meat on the bone for his upside. Like when you look at these K rates for the Cubs, not the Cubs, excuse me, Houston. Like if people haven't actually looked at it, Stevie, the name probably makes people feel like they're still low strikeout. They're just not right now. Like the K rates. The Cubs K rates are there. I was saying Houston. The Cubs K rates are there, especially with their leadoff hitter like Hurd. Morel's at 28% right now. Like that's helping the cause for Valdez. Swanson's up to 24% and a fairly low ISO. Suzuki, Wisdom, they're all high against right-handed pitching right now. So Valdez is for sure in play. He's in play for me for sure over Peralta on FanDuel.
I mean, Horner being out helps too. This is one of those right-handed bats at the top of the order that can hit both lefties and righties. So, yeah, I mean, this is a spot. I want the pitchers in this game. I don't really have a ton of interest in the bats.
Nope.
Morel, he should hit leadoff. He's been hitting. I mean, this guy's just smashing the baseball ever since he got called up. So, if you want to take shots on Morel, I'm not going to tell you no. The production that you're getting out of Morel at second base is like Altuve-like, if you want to stay in that same mindset of this game. But overall, I don't have a ton of interest in the bats. If you're going to target Taillon and you want lefties, $6K for Alvarez as a one-off just seems like a lot.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I am going to steer clear of probably all bats in this game, just focus on pitching.
Kick off the new year with new gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customable snow goggles, and much more. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames, extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after your purchase. With Shady Rays, you can look good and feel good. To date, they have donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America. If you don't love them, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop with Shady Rays. Their team always has your back. Exclusively for the Morning Grind listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the new year. Go to shadyrays.com, use code RotoGrinders for 50% off 2+ pairs of Polaroid sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people. That's code RotoGrinders to get that discount on over 2 or more pairs. We got Cincinnati at Colorado. We're going to Coors. I know you love to go to Coors. It's your favorite. Potential weather. Again, we'll see what Kevin Roth has to say. I'm looking at it the night before, and it doesn't look as bad as what some of the sites have it here. But, well, we have an 11.5 total in Coors today. 11.5. Green and Seabold facing off against each other. The Reds are a 120 favorite. Hunter Green, 8,300. Do we do it? Do we take some shots on Hunter Green today?
Oh, Hunter Green's getting played today.
I was gonna say I kind of felt like this is a spot that you were gonna want to take some shots.
You know it. Hunter Green's getting played. Now, I won't be playing any bats, and so I think I probably haven't really talked about that part of my game yet, but I will fade bats on Coors and I'll be fine. But I will absolutely play pitchers that have high strikeout potential when they give us a pretty big discount. And so Hunter Green is getting played today for sure. Like, Colorado's not an offense that I'm afraid of by any stretch of the imagination. And I know it was a lefty, but when Rich Hill can go in the Coors and get 6 strikeouts, like I'm willing to play anyone against this team. I like Hunter Green today. Here's what the Hunter Green experience is going to be like. He's going to come out in the first inning. He's going to get 3 strikeouts. He's going to come out in the second inning, and for whatever reason, he's going to struggle and get 1. He's going to struggle the third inning, and then he's going to blow through the 4th and 5th, and he probably won't come out for the 6th. But that's okay because you will probably get the strikeouts that you need to see the upside. The Hunter Green experience is a wild one. It's exciting. You're going to feel really bad at some point for taking him, but then in the end, you should feel really good. I like Hunter Green today at 8,300.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily see this going either way. Like we saw Sunday, right? It was Sunday. Yeah. Nola pitched in Coors. He had 7 innings, 4 strikeouts, gave up 4 earned runs. I think Hunter Green has some strikeout upside. I don't think that there's anything whatsoever safe about playing Hunter Green. He's a guy that walks people, and yeah, I mean, I think it's tough, right? Overall, it's playable today, especially in large field tournaments. So, and then shout out in chat, CJ Cron went on the IL today, so that's taken another one of their bats out of this lineup that is potentially, and like this team's already like they play half of their games in Coors and they're 26 in WRC plus against right-handed pitching this season. So take out CJ Cron in that lineup and it's just going to get worse. So I think Green is a really interesting tournament play. The other side of this game, Connor Siebold. Nope. That's all I got. I think that was enough no's to kind of get into your like really fast no. Do you have any interest in Siebold?
Nope.
Yeah, low strikeout rate guy, struggles to both sides of the plate, can't get guys out. The Reds are a top stack today, and it's going to feel ugly. You're not going to like it because they're Cincinnati Reds. They priced up India. Stevenson's kind of priced up, but overall, I mean, this team is way too cheap for playing in Coors against this pitcher. I know Will doesn't like playing bats in Coors. I would be all over the Reds in this spot in really almost any ballpark. So the fact that they're in Coors, I mean, a little bit of a ballpark upgrade, I guess. So Cincinnati is one of the only teams in the MLB where it's like, they get a little upgrade going into Coors. But yeah, I love this spot for the Reds. I think they're very much in place. Siebold's not great. And, we talk all the time about how Colorado's a mediocre bullpen.
Yeah. Once again, you guys know my stance, but, Cincinnati has an opportunity to do some damage today. And really, Stevie, outside of Stevenson and Jonathan India, this team really is expensive. Like you can build a pretty quality lineup across the board with the Cincinnati Reds. So you guys enjoy putting your stacks together, and I hope you make all the money you can.
Yeah, I mean, one way to make your Cincinnati stack different is play them with Green. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it really is.
Yep. As far as the Rockies bats go, Green is the guy that walks people. One timely hit is, very, very good here. And I mean, when you're stacking against a team, you want to know how good the bullpen is. And this is a top 10 bullpen. Cincinnati bullpen has been way better than anybody kind of expected they were going to be this year. Me personally, I don't love the Rockies. I think if you're going to play them, though, you have to have Ryan McMahon in there. He's probably my favorite bat from Colorado today.
I am not playing any Rockies.
I know you're not. Everyone here knows you're not. We know it. We know how you roll.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if they call somebody up.
I wouldn't be playing the Rockies even if they were in the Great American Small Park, for what it's worth. They've been so bad, Stevie. Like, oh man.
Well, what I was going to say, it'd be really interesting to see if they call somebody up for Crone or if they move Moustakas and let him play first base, because he's been really bad this year. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with Crone move into the IL.
On a sidebar, didn't Mike Moustakas just seemingly fall off the face of the earth since he's left Kansas City? My gosh, man. I mean, I guess he had a little stretch with the Reds, but all in all, he just, gosh, it hasn't come together for him since he's left KC.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of injuries too.
Yeah, yep.
Injuries stink, man.
Yeah.
All right, we got Diamondbacks and Oakland Athletics, 9 total. Diamondbacks, a 205 favorite here in Oakland. Kelly and Moeller facing off against each other. I know that DraftKings shows Rosinski. I'm seeing multiple reports that it's either going to be Rosinski or Moeller. We'll talk about both of them here in a second. But let's start with Kelly. He's 8,800. Probably my favorite pitcher on the slate today, Will. I mean, Oakland's just bad. Anytime you get a right-handed pitcher against this team, I feel like they're going to shoot up to the top of your list. And the fact that, like, Kelly actually is showing some strikeout ability this year, I think is huge. So yes. I think he's my favorite pitcher. If we're, like, considering price and everything else, I mean, it's hard for me not to have interest in him in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why I was so hesitant on some of the other 8K pitcher calls, which today you can probably get away with 2 8K pitchers and be just fine. But Kelly's absolutely top of my list as well. If I'm not mistaken, last time I checked, he was sitting around a 25% K rate on the season, which is a lot higher, I think, than what we anticipated him to be. He's got good numbers. And look, man, Oakland stinks against right-handed pitching, Steve. Like they stink really bad. I just that's all I can say. So I like Kelly. I'm with you. I think he's definitely at the top of the list today. Like I gave you the numbers. He's got a slight walk problem, but I don't think that's gonna haunt him too bad against this Oakland team. So I'm in on Kelly for sure.
I will say really quick, Roker hitting well against both sides of, Jordan Diaz has been really good since they called him up. And then in a really small sample size so far, Carlos Perez has been hitting well against right-handed pitching. So like the top half of the order is definitely getting better against right-handed pitching, but still, nope. I have interest. And I mean, when we started the podcast, I was seeing Moeller here, but now I'm seeing Rosinski everywhere. Gosh.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll break him down. I mean, it definitely changes my thought process here if it is Moeller. I mean, you're just going to play the righties. But Rosinski has an 8% K rate and almost a 7 xFIP. We're not playing him. There you go.
Nope. There it is.
Easy. We are, however, getting Arizona on the road. Not a great ballpark in Oakland, but on the road, we're going to get, probably a good portion of bullpen here. Oakland has the worst bullpen in baseball, and it's not even remotely close. This bullpen is bad. So they get a bad starter, a bad bullpen. Dude, I love this spot for Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Listen, man, we talked about these attackable spots. Arizona and Milwaukee start to feel like a tasty little stack, Stevie. And for those of you that don't know, I'm in the KBO street still. Like, it never ended for me. I stayed on the KBO train. Drew Chinsky came over from KBO. He was pitching for the NC Dinos and did okay in the KBO. But Stevie, it is not working out with Oakland. I don't think the upside is going to come personally. And so as a result, man, I'm stacking Arizona any way that I can. This is a good spot for this team.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is a fantastic spot. You're going to get some cheap bats in here to mix with like Carroll and Marte.
Yeah.
Arizona is a fantastic team to target today. Again, don't love the ballpark, but I mean, the matchup is fantastic. The bullpen's bad. Love this spot for Arizona today. So, I mean, how much longer do you let this guy pitch? I know you're bad, but like this might be the worst, like combined starting pitcher bullpen ERA that we've ever seen. They're really bad. I will say Oakland bats are somewhat interesting for large field tournaments today. Hear me out. I don't think they're the best team by any means, but I think Kelly's going to get ownership. I have a ton of interest in Kelly today. So this might be one of those spots I like build my 3 teams, and then like in the $15 or something, I'm like, all right, I'm playing Kelly on 2 or 3. I'm going to throw an Oakland stack in the $15 tournament, to hedge myself in a big tournament where if Kelly gets blown up, I give myself a chance to make some money. But
Yeah.
I mean, if I am looking at it, it's Diaz, it's Roker, it's Perez. Those have been the guys that you can, I wouldn't even say trust, but those have been the guys that have been hitting right-handed pitching. Blade, I would build around those 4 guys because those are the 4 guys you're worried about the most for Kelly.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not playing Oakland today.
Oh, I hear you.
But now Rooker's been hitting good. Like he's probably the ultimate one I'll play from that team for sure.
He's very talented. I've been very impressed. For some reason I've been watching a lot of Oakland games. I don't know if it's just because of the time that the games are on and when I'm sitting in the office more. But yeah. Carlos Perez was never this good, so I don't know how much longer this can keep up, but I'm just saying. All right, Kansas City at San Diego. We got Keller and Waka facing off against each other here. 9 total in this game. The Padres a 210 favorite. Any interest here in Keller?
No.
Yeah, I mean, San Diego is a team that I'll play pitchers against. I have no issues playing pitchers against them, but I think it takes like a really good like strikeout type pitcher. And I mean, that's Keller's strikeout rate is lower than his walk rate this year. Very patient offense. I think they hang a crooked number up against Keller today, and he doesn't last long here. But the other side of this game, Waka, I mean, he gets a great matchup going up against Kansas City. He's going to have some run support, 7,800. I think he's a guy that goes out and gets you like 17 to 22 points. And I think on this slate, that's enough.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think at his price, he gets you just enough. Steve, even if he ends up at 16.5 like he did against Cincinnati, like I don't think we're going to be frustrated with that at 7,800 on this slate. Obviously, there's some guys that can outscore him, but I think he's okay. So 7,800, I'm in.
I will say, for what it's worth, his advanced numbers look terrible this year. I just don't know if Kansas City is the team to take advantage of it. Kansas City bats. I mean, the guys I want to play are expensive. Vinny at 4,200, I think is okay. I don't hate that price tag. Melendez is now like outfield only. So like you lose that like catcher eligibility for a guy that has some upside, but I don't have a ton of interest overall in this offense today.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like you talked about Witt, Vinny at 42, like you said, is probably okay. But all in all, like I don't feel like I have to play anyone from Kansas City. And so when I don't have to, they typically get the X button. If they score 10 runs today, hey, I brush my hands together, shake my shoulders off, and I move on to the next day.
San Diego bats. I mean, I just got kind of done saying it. I think this is a team that's really interesting for large field tournaments today. Keller is not great. This is a bottom 5 bullpen. Patient offense. They could get to Keller really quick in this game. I mean, I definitely have some interest in the San Diego stack today.
Yeah, I've got plenty of interest. Juan Soto, Stevie, even if he's not hitting home runs, man, this just so many fantasy point opportunities because of the low K rate. And he's still got the power against right-handed pitching. Like him a ton. Tatis, you've got him at 5,800. You've got Xander at 4,600. Steve, this is a good spot, I think, for Xander. I like this team a ton, so I'm big time into some San Diego stacks today. You got Cronenworth at 3,800. It's just this team is cheap. Carpenter may even still be in the lineup. Now he's at the bottom and he's been striking out, but he's 2,600. I don't mind plugging him in if I'm getting into a full stack situation with this team.
I like the Carpenter call. I think he's really interesting here. Getting close. Watch for David Dahl. He's not. I assume that he's not going to be back like this series, and I'll try to like pay attention to it. Still, I try to always watch this stuff. But David Dahl, if he comes back, he was on a rehab assignment. If he comes back, he rehabbed over the weekend. If he comes back, he's 2K. He's 2K. Watch that. That will open up some stuff there. But yeah, I like San Diego a lot. I don't think he comes back this series, but Philadelphia at San Francisco. 8.5 total in this game. Almost a pick'em game. It's really close. Alex Wood going up against Bailey Faulkner. Faulkner 6,600. Listen, I'll play a lot of pitchers against the Giants, left-handed pitchers against the Giants. I don't think in my mind I can click on Falter though to pitch against them.
Yeah, I don't think he makes it. The crazy thing is, I think he could get the strikeouts today at 6,100.
But he's not a big strikeout guy. That's why I don't like him. He's like a 16% K rate guy.
Right. But even if he does, Steve, I think he gives up too many runs. Like that's the thing with San Francisco. Okay, they strike out, but they're going to score some runs today. And I don't think Falter's anywhere near what I'm going to be doing.
Well, they're getting a little bit more production, right, against righties. They're still striking out at a pretty good clip, but calling up Schmidt and him hitting and, producing has definitely helped this team. Flores is hitting the ball really well against lefties. Haniger's back. So I feel like they're going to get better. And Falter's just a guy that doesn't generate a lot of swinging strikes. So no interest for me in Faulkner. Alex Wood, he threw Friday 1 inning, and he looked bad. I mean, I had Giant stacks that I was watching, so I was watching that game. He came in through an inning. I don't think I can do it. First of all, I don't trust him to pitch really deep into this game anyway because he's coming back from injury. But, yeah, I don't think I can do Alex Wood today.
Yep, 7,100. Nope, not doing it.
All right, let's talk about bats for Philadelphia. Any interest in the Philly bats here?
I do have some slight interest in the Philly bats, especially Trey Turner today. I like him a ton. 5,200. Hasn't really had a massive game recently, Stevie, but at this price today against Alex Wood, I think this is fine. I think we could get some steals out of Trey here in this spot. We know that Harper's back. Castellanos at 4,900, who is starting to heat up at the plate. I like him a ton, but I don't mind Harper. I don't mind Real Muto. You just got to pay for them. They're an expensive team, and so I think I would just kind of. This is more of a mini stack, 2 to 3 bats. I think if I want to play Philly today.
I think that's where I'm at. Like a Turner, Castellanos type of thing, Bohm. I think the problem with Philadelphia is they're not necessarily cheap. So it's not an easy secondary stack, but a guy like Sosa who hits towards the bottom of the order has been hitting left-handed pitching well, but and Dave just posted in YouTube chat that Turner is 3,000. He is 3,000 on FanDuel today. So top end play on FanDuel for sure.
Trey Turner makes no sense, by the way. Nope. That's almost a misprice.
He should never be that cheap.
No.
He's the type of player that should never be under 3,500, even if he's slumping.
He's probably going to be pretty high on today on FanDuel, I would imagine. At 3K.
Yeah. I mean, he should be.
Yeah.
Might be one of those spots you just let other people make the mistake of not playing him.
Yeah.
All right, Giants bats. I have slight interest here. I mean, Schmidt, first of all, is 3K. I mean, this guy definitely hitting well. Haniger's 3,300. My only concern when you're thinking about playing San Francisco, they platoon and pinch hit guys very fast when a right-handed pitcher comes in. So you have to kind of almost guess Estrada, Davis, Schmidt. If Bart's catching, the guys that they won't platoon out of the lineup here, if you're looking at maybe a little mini stack for San Francisco or a full-on stack, whatever you're doing with San Francisco, you just have to kind of guess who you don't think are going to be the guys that get swapped out.
It'd be nice if they actually let Mitch Haniger get into a groove.
They haven't been platooning him a lot. They've been letting him hit righties and lefties.
No, but I'm saying I feel like he keeps getting. Maybe they're doing it because of injury. He seems to kind of has been getting frequent days off, and maybe I'm just off on that. But he's still really cheap, man. He's a guy like we've seen him tee off for stretches at 3,300, Stevie. Like I'm gonna keep playing Mitch Haniger at this price. Like at some point, he's gonna take off.
Right there with you. I would have really liked it to have been Friday.
Yeah.
All right, we finish out the slate with Minnesota at LA taking on the Dodgers. 8.5 total in this game. Dodgers a slight favorite here at -118. Lopez and Syndergaard. On pretty much any slate, I have interest in Pablo Lopez. I don't like playing right-handed pitchers against the Dodgers. I mean, now that we've gotten through the slate, I think there's enough pitching that I don't have to have interest in Lopez today. What are your thoughts?
I'm close to playing him, Steve. Like
he's really good. Like
yeah.
I mean, I'm not. If you want to play him, I'm not going to sit here and make any counter arguments because I mean he is very talented.
Yeah, he's 10-1. K rate's up to around I think 30% this year. I think if nobody's going to play him today, right? Like if everybody's like Dodgers writing him off, I don't want to do it. I think there are enough strikeouts in this lineup, Stevie, for him to get there. For what it's worth, like I think there are enough. Like we saw Yu Darvish come in and pitch okay. I think I'm going to play him today because I think people aren't going to play him. Like he's more expensive than I think some of the better plays, but the type of season he's having. I don't think he's going to have enough ownership. I'm playing him in large field for sure at 10-1.
Fair enough. Like I said, I'm not going to be the person to sit here and argue against you. I'm not playing Noah Syndergaard on the other side of this game.
No.
I was so disappointed. Listen, I wasn't disappointed. Disappointed is not the right word. When he left the game the other night, I had played some fast guys for the Brewers, and I was just sad. Sad is the right word. Ooh. That like they weren't able to steal bases on him, but. Yeah, I'm not playing Syndergaard. I definitely have interest in Minnesota in this game because of it being Syndergaard and because of the stolen base upside. What are your thoughts on the Minnesota Bats?
Yeah, I like the Minnesota Bats, man. You know, Polanco, Correa, Buxton. I'm hoping Larnach is back in the lineup again too. That would be fantastic. I like Minnesota along with you, Steve. These guys should be able to run for sure, and hopefully poke the ball through and score a few runs as well.
So I was just looking to kind of get an idea of who like potential stolen bases for Minnesota. They have the lowest stolen bases in the season.
but remember, it's Noah.
Listen, I know, but that means like. Maybe we're going to get some sports book value. Okay, that's where my head went, right? My head went like, hey, this team is the lowest stolen base team in baseball. Maybe like we're going to get actual value against Syndergaard for some stolen bases.
Yeah.
Here, so, oh, could you imagine if Michael Taylor cracks the lineup today at 2,500 and starts this game?
Oh, boy.
Bunt single turns into a triple, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Punt play of the day right there if he starts. All right. Any Dodgers thoughts? I'm gonna skip over him.
Pablo probably gives up 2 or 3, but I don't think the Dodgers tee off.
Lopez's struggles this year has been power lefties. Gives up a lot of power and fly balls to left-handed hitters. So if like you want to play Muncy or Freeman or Outman, I don't hate it. And like of all people, Hayward has been really good this year.
Yeah.
So any of the lefties in this lineup, I think, are in play. I'm not going out of my way to play against Pablo Lopez, though. All right, let's play the morning grind game, and then we'll get out of here. I'm gonna go try to find out what this like sleep thing is that people talk about. Under 8K to get 6 or more strikeouts. Who do you got today?
We're probably going to end up on the same person. Give me Tyon.
I'll take Waka. I think those are my 2 favorite options under 8K. So take either one of those guys. Over 8K to score under 15. Who's your bust today?
Give me. It's really tough today, actually. Give me Kirby, but I don't like it as much. But I'm going to side with Boston in this spot.
All right. I mean, yeah, Boston low strikeout rate. I don't hate that. I think I'm going to take Pablo Lopez.
I get it.
Same reason that you're not going to play pitch against Boston, but over 4K to hit a home run today, not in Coors. Who do you got going yard today?
This one's probably fairly easy for me. Give me Matt Olson, 5,500.
That is not who I thought you were going to pick. I'm just saying. I didn't. You fooled me on that one. I did not see that one coming. Congratulations, you got me. Give me. Oh, you know what?
My 2 hits guy, I think you're going to know though. But
yeah, to go yard today, he's not really like a power guy. Give me Adames against Flaherty. I was gonna take Tellis. One of those two guys. I like those two guys.
I like it.
Under 4K to get 2 hits. Who do you got today?
Super easy. Give me Mr. Rosario.
All right, I like it. I'm gonna go Gurriel from Arizona. I like the spot for him.
Yeah.
He's been hitting right-handed pitching really well this year. He's kind of struggled against lefties, so getting a bad righty, I think, is a great spot for Gurriel. Stack to score 6 or more runs. Will, who do you got?
Milwaukee Brewers.
I'm going to go Arizona Diamondbacks against Oakland. Talked about it. It's a great spot for them. Hate the ballpark, but it's a phenomenal spot. So they can do it so many different ways, like Arizona, a lot today. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Negative, mi amigo. It's been great to hang out with you for the show, and hopefully we help people take down some tournaments and make some money.
Appreciate everyone hanging out with us. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the RotoGrinders Morning Grind YouTube page. We're growing it. I appreciate you all. Thank you for helping us grow the YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us live on the show. So if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications. That way you can see when we come on. And it's mostly around 10 o'clock most nights, Sunday through Thursday. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. The wives, all of you are appreciated by everyone. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck in your contest and have a great Monday.